Brothers and sisters, let me ask you this. What happened when the hunger for quick money destroyed not just your future, but also the reputation of an entire community abroad around you? Today, the story is shaking both Nigeria and diaspora. A US based Nigerian man, Mr. Rotimi Oladimeji, has just been arrested by the US Immigration and Custom Enforcement, IC, in New Orleans in America. IC labeled this man a criminal alien. His crime was a romance scam that stole nearly $1.2 million from a single American woman. Rotimi Oladimeji, 38 years old guy, was already a convicted fraudster. In fact, he had pleaded guilty in 2022 to mail fraud, wire fraud, and conspiracy. He was sentenced by a US judge in St. Louis for 3 good years in prison and ordered to pay over $1.1 million back as restitution money. But now, IC has announced they've taken him into custody. And the big question here is, was he released earlier? And if so, why is IC only now stepping into his case? That area is a gray area. And we search everywhere, we look everywhere. We couldn't see why he was now arrested again. I mean, is it that he served his jail quietly or what? We just don't understand, and it's not in the public domain. Here's how the scam worked. Him and his group. A lonely woman in St. Louis believed she had met a veteran online on a dating site. She thought it was a romance, because she needs love, she needs happiness, she needs a soulmate. She thought she was building a future with someone. Instead, she was being targeted by fraudsters, and Rotimi was part of that circle. They promised to meet her somewhere. They even let her waiting once at Missouri Botanical Garden in America there. But behind the sweet message and fake promises was a web of lies. Because what they're going to do is they're going to push you there, go and wait so that you think it's real. They'll be communicating with you on phone, and later they will cook up 1 or 2 stories and you won't see them because you can't see them kuru like this. Then they will now invented stories like the so-called we're stuck somewhere in Dubai. We needed some money to travel, to demand a lot of money from you. And initially, 4 figures was sent to these guys. Later, 5 figures was also paid to these guys. Over time, this woman lost almost $1.2 million to this Rotimi and his co-conspirators. And Rotimi, he himself, he was the middleman. He wasn't even the Ogagagan. He wasn't the Odogu. He arranged for her to send cash and checks via FedEx to Texas. His co-conspirators men are men like Olumide Akinwande and Adewale Adesoya. They acted as a money mole because this our man, Mr. Rotimi now, he has recruited 2 other guys again that they worked for him. But he has other people. It's a kind of network fraudulent activities that carried on there. Do you know how much they paid Rotimi? For every transaction that Rotimi clicked, Rotimi took 20% of the stolen funds. The others took their own cuts too. Cut and cut. Now they do. And the rest, where did he go? They sent it straight to the scammers in Nigeria. That is where the big Odogugaga, that is where he stays or she resides there. Now, in December 2022, Rotimi pleaded guilty to multiple counts of fraud. Judge Rudney sentenced him to 3 years in prison. His co-conspirators also faced justice from the American justice system. Mr. Akinmade got 15 good months in prison and had to pay back $46,500, while Adesoya got 4 years in prison and was ordered to repay back a massive whoopee of $1.5 million from both romance scam and business fraud. While Rotimi, who was born in Lagos but living in Texas, was also ordered to pay back more than $1.1 million to his victims. At that time, prosecutors even warned after his prison terms, he could face deportation back to Muritala Muhammad Airport, or probably maybe in Abuja now they will drop and then sometimes it will be Kano Airport, but anyhow, maybe it could be deported back to Nigeria. Fast forward to now, September 2025, IC announced Rotimi's arrest in New Orleans, calling him a criminal alien. That was what they put on their Twitter handle, which is here. But here's the twist. It's unclear how he left prison so soon. Was he released early? Did he complete his sentence quietly? Or was this part of the deportation process? Nobody knows, and it wasn't in the public domain. But all we know is that this guy had been caught and he could be deported back to Nigeria. I mean, either way, the IC has made one thing clear to everybody. Say, they want him out of the US. Sharp, sharp. He has to leave the US. Why is this our August story? Why is it matters to us all now? Let's look at the broader context. Romance scam and cryptocurrency scam have exploded globally. In late 2024, Nigeria's EFCC arrested 792 suspects in Lagos fraud hub, with victims losing millions across continents. These operations use social media and messaging to lure primarily Western victims into the shenanigans. Many frontline operatives were not aware of the larger criminal networks they supported. It was a concerned dynamic in Nigeria then. What are the takeaways here? Romance scams often pair emotional manipulation with financial pressure. Always verify online personnel, especially before sending money to them. Then visit ic.gov's romance scams future for tips on spotting these schemes. My family, this is more than just the story of one man. Every time a Nigerian is caught in fraud abroad, the whole community pays the price. Immigration officers look at us with suspicious eye. Job opportunity gets harder and tighter. Ordinary hardworking Africans abroad suffer for the crime of a few. Romance scams are especially painful. They don't just steal money, they destroy trust, they break hearts, they humiliate innocent people, because some of these victims couldn't even tell anyone that they have been scammed. They're so ashamed of themselves. And think about this for a moment. Almost $1.2 million stolen from one woman. Instead, it was wasted in greed and deceit. So here we are today. Rotimi Oladimeji once lived in Texas, now in IC custody, facing deportation after prison. Rotimi's story is a warning. Quick money is never free at all. It's not a free lunch. Fraud may shine for a moment, but it always ends in shame, prison, or deportation. To my brothers and sisters abroad, let's reject shortcuts. Let's protect our name. Let's protect our dignity and our children's future to you alone. Because when one person falls into fraud, the whole community carries that stigma. But when we choose honest and hard work, the blessing multiply. My family on this platform, what do you think about IC's arrest of Rotimi Oladimeji? Do you believe deportation will stop others from romance scam? Let's talk in the comment. If you had any similar experience, report it, share this video to warn others, and please subscribe for more stories like this on African Black Gold TV. Till I see you in the next video, please subscribe.